When I was in junior high, I spent a lot of time, more than I'm comfortable admitting, searching the internet for how to ask a girl out on a date. I think a lot of guys have the same question. Our culture really isn't up on the whole traditional dating kind of thing. We're more up on swiping right, asking people if they want to hang out, and unfortunately more of a hookup culture. There's a lot of tactics that people use right now in asking a girl out which are not really the best thing. And as Christian guys, if we fall into these traps, not only does it reduce our chances of somebody wanting to get to know us a little bit more and us getting to know somebody else a little bit more, but it also sometimes gives a really crappy witness of what a Christian guy is in a world where there are a lot of crappy guys. So if you've ever wondered, how can I ask a girl out on a date? I've got 3 things that you can do. Here's the first thing you need to do if you want to ask a girl out on a date. Be confident. Confidence is attractive. People like confident individuals. Here's one action that you can do that really projects confidence. Ask her in person. I know it's a totally revolutionary idea. Don't hide behind a tiny piece of metal and plastic and electronics, and instead look at somebody in the face and say, I'd love to take you out for dinner sometime. Don't tweet it. Don't text it, don't snap it, don't Insta it, don't slide into somebody's DMs, don't swipe right. If you'd like to ask somebody out on a date, ask them in person. It does a couple of things. One, it makes them know that they're worth you taking a risk to ask them in person. Because, let's be honest, there's always a chance for rejection. And rejection face-to-face kind of sucks. It also tells them that you're not doing this to a bunch of other people. Think about it. If you're sending an electronic message, a text, whatever, to a woman saying, hey, do you want to go out? She has no clue if you're also sending that message to 10 other women, just hoping that a couple of people say yes, and then you can, pick who you want to date. If you think that's laughable, there are whole platforms and dating platforms modeled after this sort of thing, right? Here's the second thing you need to do. You gotta be intentional. And by intentional, I mean you need to have a plan. When you go in to ask somebody out on a date, what are you asking them to? I get really anxious when people say hey, do you want to do something? And they don't tell me what it is they'd like to do. I don't want to wind up in a situation where we're just aimlessly floating trying to figure something out. So people are going to be less likely to say yes to a date that isn't specified. Here's a couple friendly suggestions. Go somewhere where you can talk and get to know somebody. That means it's probably someplace public and it's someplace doing something interesting that's going to spark conversation. Playing Fortnite in your basement probably isn't what a woman wants to do on a date. You want to pick something that allows you to talk about the activity and then in doing so, get to know one another. Going out to a moody candlelit dinner with somebody you don't really know can get awkward fast because there's nothing really to talk about. But if you go somewhere like an art walk, or you go to a game, or you go to a coffee shop with a musician playing, there's other things to talk about and other fodder for conversation. The one public place you do want to avoid though is a movie. You're not in 6th grade anymore. Going out on a date with a girl to a movie doesn't help you get to know that person. It's weird, it's dark, you're doing that thing with your pinky where you're trying to creep over and explore to see if they want to hold hands. It's just a bad situation. Don't choose a movie. You're not in middle school anymore. And here's the third thing. Be honorable. And what I mean by being honorable is simply this. You want to be honorable if she says no. There's always a chance for rejection for any number of reasons. Maybe that person just doesn't like you in that way. Maybe they're not in a place where they want to date. Maybe their schedule's just really busy right now. Whatever her reason is, it doesn't matter, and you don't need to ask. So if you say, hey, I'd love to take you out for dinner sometime, and that woman says, no, I'm not really interested, don't press it and be like, why? Was there something in my approach? Was I not confident? Was I not intentional? Just say, okay. There's really no other way out of that situation. It's going to be awkward, and just embrace the awkward, but be kind and walk away. Don't say anything rude to your friends. Don't be sassy. Don't be sad. Don't complain. Just accept it for what it is and move on. It's okay to experience rejection once in a while. Yeah, it stings, but if you're going to ask somebody out, it's a possibility. So those are the 3 things you're going to do if you're going to ask a girl out on a date. 1, you got to be confident. 2, you need to be intentional. And 3, you need to be honorable. Do those 3 things and you are much more likely to land that date. And even if you're not, you're going to provide a great witness of what a Christian guy is and how he respects women. Hey, if you know somebody who needs a few pointers on their dating life, go ahead and send them this video and then check back, subscribe every Tuesday. The next few videos, we're just gonna talk about dating. How do I go out on a date? How do I act in a relationship? What does it take to be a good boyfriend? And ultimately, how do I know if the person that I'm with is somebody that I should be with for a long time? Those are some big topics, and if you've got something that you'd like to hear about, leave me a message in the comments below, and we'll cover some of your topics as well. This is gonna be a lot of fun, my friends. Enjoy your week. Like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you back here soon.